Ancestral trauma is the intergenerational pain and wounds that are passed down through family lines. We can connect to the deepest and most foundational pain of our ancestors through our own being. And this is because genetics are actually multidimensional. Genetics are not just physical. They can also be a code for knowledge, beliefs, desires, needs, feeling states, and even memories. They are encoded in our genes and continue the code from every direct ancestor that we've ever had. Ancestral trauma can include predispositions and even attitudes, and we pick up these codes through the energetic imprint of our own being. Those experiences could be deeply encoded into us on an energetic level. For example, if we had ancestors that lived in poverty or fear, those states of feeling can be deeply embedded into the core of our essence. We may be able to sense their struggles on an unconscious level, somewhere deep inside of our own psyches. We are able to feel their pain and can connect deeply to the things that they may have experienced just on a metaphysical level. We could also have a propensity or an interest in a particular historical topic or be drawn to things on an inexplicable level. In these instances, it is very likely that we are intercepting and receiving messages from our ancestral lineage. For example, if we had ancestors that experienced maybe slavery or abuse, we may have some of these sensitivities tuned into our own pain bodies. We may be able to feel and sense the hardships that they endured, and perhaps even hold on to some of their pain, anger, or powerlessness. We can receive these influences either directly or indirectly as well. Whereas direct ancestral trauma may be certain behaviors and habits that have been repeated and mirrored, such as how to form relationships or struggles with money. But with others, it can be more indirect, which affects us on a more transcendental level. Either way, the stories and the past of our ancestors play a really big part in shaping the person that we are today. Finding our own trauma takes a great deal of awareness. We must tune into our beings and become curious about our most basic and foundational programming. We need to explore and examine where our perspectives and views come from. Where did we receive the information that we hold on to and carry around to be the truth? We may have simply watched our parents make certain decisions and respond and behave to life circumstances in a particular way. We may have repeated those behaviors without knowing or realizing what we were doing. These are the direct ways that we can be influenced by those who came before us. In other ways, we may have known ourselves to exhibit certain temperaments and even preferences since long before we can even remember. So we really need to examine repetitive behaviors and patterns in our lives that we notice, such as why do we find ourselves in particular situations over and over again, and why do we repeat the same patterns? Because we could be playing out a particular role in our family line. We may have been chosen to be the one to live out this particular behavioral pattern in order to heal it and resolve it within our family lines. So how do we show up in relationships? Do we find ourselves getting overly attached to people, or do we pull away and avoid connection altogether? These could be clear indications that we are living out the energetic patterns of our genetic and ancestral past. So how do we heal this ancestral trauma? The first step to healing is simply awareness. Awareness within itself can begin to loosen and break down some of this karmic energy just by the pure focus and intention to heal. Awareness can cause the trauma to lose its grip and allow us to become more conscious, because when we are unconscious and unaware, the trauma is more likely to take over our energy system. Secondly, we can create ceremonies or healing spaces where we can light candles or incense, play music, and speak and commune with our ancestors so that they can give us the guidance and the wisdom to free us from the bondage of our past. We can do energy work on our physical bodies to move and shift the energetic blueprint that has been ever present and in charge of our earthly experiences up until now. We can move forward with a higher connection to our ancestors and even release and work through their pain and their hardships so that future generations can be relieved from these karmic ties and patterns. And also, it should be noted that not all of these influences from the past are negative. In fact, we can take many strengths and positivity from the ones that came before us. We can also embody their knowledge, their strengths, and their joy that still lives on within us. It's all about getting to know ourselves on a deeper level and to know that we are the spiritual and the physical embodiment of all of our ancestors that came before us. So thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I also want to invite you to join the free Facebook group called the Pseudo Sage Community. The link to that is in the description box below. Please leave any comments or questions that you have down in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.